Exercise 10, you might have guessed it, is going to be basically the inverse of exercise 8. You can take that all the way up and all the way back down, and exercise 10 is probably the most difficult of all of these. But I would say if you can memorize those and blow through those exercises in about 5 to 10 minutes, spend maybe 20-30 seconds on each one of them and get done in 5 to 10 minutes, and do that every day for a couple of weeks, you're going to absolutely be amazed at how much your finger strength improves, not only soloing wise, but also being able to fret difficult chords like this 13th chord, for example. Will be a breeze for you when you work on these exercises. Okay? Bar chords will be a lot easier for you. Everything will be a lot easier for you when you work on these exercises. So go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back, and because hey, you've made it to exercise 10 already. Okay, let's talk about pentatonic scales. I would say for the solo guitarist, pentatonic scale is probably the most important scale you need to know. Now, there are obviously tons and tons of different scales, scale patterns, modes, harmonic minor, melodic minor, natural minor, major scale, all the modes that go with the major scale. There are modes that go with the pentatonic, actually there are pentatonic modes. Modes that go with the melodic minor scale, and Spanish Phrygian, which is the 5th mode of harmonic minor, all these crazy scales. But if you want to boil it all down, if you had to say what the most important scale is for a guitarist who wants to learn to play solo guitar, I would say the pentatonic scale. And I would say if you want to choose one of the forms of that, I would say probably the pentatonic minor is the most important, because it can be used in blues. It's used in blues extensively because of all the dominant 7th chords, and also in rock and roll. It just sounds great, as if it has a very open sound. And I'm going to show you actually 3 different forms of the pentatonic scale. I'll show you the pentatonic major, pentatonic minor, and the blues, flat 5. So let's first of all talk about what a pentatonic scale is. Well, penta means 5, right? So that means you've got 5 notes in your scale. And the pentatonic scale comes from the diatonic scales. It comes from 7, the diatonic scales have 7 notes. Pentatonic scales have 5 notes. So your pentatonic major is going to have 5 notes, and it comes directly from the major scale. And your pentatonic minor has 5, comes directly from the minor scale. And I'll give you a secret. When you learn the pentatonic minor or the pentatonic major, you will automatically learn the other scale at the same time. You just have to rename all the positions. And so essentially you only are going to have to learn 5 different patterns to learn the pentatonic scales. And once you learn those patterns, you can play all over the fretboard, and you can determine if you want to use the major form of them or the minor form of them. Okay. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, and I'm going to break all this down in very small details coming up. But I just want to give you the big overview of where we're going with all this. Let's take, for example, your major scale. Let's talk about a C major scale, okay? Okay, that's C major in 1 octave, or you can play it like this. Either way is fine. Actually, let's take that one. Let's use that for an example. Well, when you're talking about the major scale, or the pentatonic scale, pentatonic major, you take your major scale and you drop out the 4th and the 7th. So let's count up. If we label each scale degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it starts over, you can call this 8. Where's the 4th? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to leave out the 4th, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to leave out these two notes. Those two notes right there. Okay, so listen carefully. Here's C major, diatonic. Here's C major, pentatonic. Okay, now those are basically the only 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the octave of the C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you learn those 5 notes, all you got to do is distribute them along the fretboard in their different positions, and you can play any of those notes are fair game when you determine your key that you're, for example, in C major. Now, your pentatonic minor, let's go to A. And you might say, well, why did you choose A? Well, if I start with C major, and I want to do the relative minor of C major, I go to the 6th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is A. And so that A is going to be the relative minor of C major. So A minor is the relative minor of C major, so that's why I chose A minor to show you the pentatonic minor. So let's play the A minor, A natural minor scale. Okay? Now, what you're going to leave out in the pentatonic minor is the 2nd. So you're going to leave out this note, and you're going to leave out the 6th, which is this note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to leave out those 2 notes. So here's your A natural minor scale, or A diatonic minor. Now I'm going to leave out the 2nd and 6th and play for you the A pentatonic minor. Hear the difference? Here's the A minor. Here's the pentatonic. Okay? Okay. So we've talked about the major, we've talked about the minor. Now let's talk about the blues. Well, the blues is exactly like the pentatonic minor, except it adds 1 note, the flat 5. So count up with me. 1, 2, 3, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is the 5th, a flat 5 would be lower at a half step. So you're going to add that note. So you add this note, so that's your flat 5. In this case, it's an E flat. Okay. Of course, I'm going to give you all the fretboard close-ups when I go through all these scales with you a little bit later. I'm just trying to give you an overview right now. So those are essentially the 3 scales that you're going to need to know as a solo guitarist. And we're going to learn the major scale and the natural minor and everything a little bit later on. But right now we're going to focus on the pentatonic because they only have 5 and they're easier to learn. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn the pentatonic minor scale, and I'm going to show you how that relates to the pentatonic major, and we're going to do that next.